Hi everyone, welcome to the Bruno office hours, and today we have a really excited feature to walk through VS Code extension which we recently released, and we are going to see how we can use that, the use cases and the future development plans. It's going to be a part of Bruno repository and how the development is going to happen, and where you can share your feedback about VS Code extension if you have any, everything about VS Code extension. So we'll see the agenda we have for today. So the first thing we have on our agenda is VS Code extension walkthrough. We are going to see how you can install it, how you can set up, how you can use, how you can work with environments, what are the limitations are there, what other things are which you can use, and how it's beneficial for API development workflow. And the second thing we have is features and use cases. What are the different features which we introduce as we have a different release for the VS Code extension from last week, and what are the future development is going to happen. A lot of community folks ask like it's going to be a part of Bruno repository or it's going to be a separate repo where whether it will be open source or not. So we are going to discuss that. So first we will start with the VS Code extension walkthrough, and then we will jump through one by one. So I'll just quickly minimize this, and to install the VS Code extension, you can visit my VS Code Microsoft Marketplace and you can download a Bruno from there, or you can directly jump to your VS Code and you can search for a VS Code extension from there. So if you go to VS Code, if you go to your extension icon from here, you can just search it for Bruno and it will be available in your VS Code extension. So as you can see, the extension is available here. I already have installed it, so I'm not going to download and reinstall and reset up. So steps are simple. Just search Bruno and just click on install button from here, and it will be available in your VS Code extension. So if you are using any code editor, whether it's Cursor, Windsurf, VS Code editor, or any other editor, you can just install the extension for that particular code editor which you are using, and it will be available for you. So once you install it, so it will be available with a Bruno icon on your sidebar. So you can click on that, and you can create a collection from here. As you can see, you can click on this plus icon, and you can say create a collection, import collection, open collection as the same feature you get to see in Bruno app, and you can manage cookies, global environments, and you can do configurations from here for your Bruno VS Code extension. And you can also open the existing collection inside of Bruno. So for that you have to do, you can just say open a folder and you can just navigate to a particular collection which I have. If I go to desktop and I would say Eco Bruno, and I will open that. And this is my Eco Bruno collection, which I have worked inside of Bruno. And right now I have set up this inside a VS Code in a VS Code with the help of Bruno extension. So you can see all the requests, all the gRPC stuff. So default mode in VS Code extension is file mode. And if you want to switch to GUI, you can just click on this Bruno icon here and it will show you the Bruno icon, the normal GUI mode as you can see. So these are the collection brew, which is your collection file, and this is Echo Bruno. As you can see, you can just turn it out and it will be available for the GUI. I will go Bruno and you can see the request is available in a GUI. You can send a request and you can see the response. So first thing we will see the environments. I directly don't want to get to the collections here, but yeah, like this is how you can create your collection directly folder inside of Bruno, and you can navigate to different requests. You can switch to file mode, toggle mode, and you can write a test case which we're going to see. I will just go to certs and where is public API, Bruno, and you can do a bunch of stuff. And if you want to just start with completely fresh setup, so you can just click on Bruno icon here. You can just go here, you can just create a new collection and you can just enter a name and the particular location, and the new collection will be available inside your code base, or it will be part of your code base. You can maintain it separately or with your collection. It completely depends on you how to carry your collection. So I already have this Echo Bruno collection open inside of VS Code, and this is complete interface looks like. So first thing we'll see the environments, how you can work with environments. So if you have a test environment, like I have one test environment, but if you have global environments inside a Bruno, so it won't be available inside a VS Code as it's stored in a operating system level for the security purpose. But if you want to use them, then you have to go to configuration and you have to recreate them, and then you can use it. So this is for a security purpose, but we are going to release a feature where you can import export your global variables, which is going to solve this issue. But for now, you have to want to use global environments, you have to create them into a VS Code extension again to use that. For the collection environments is available. It's picking up from your environment file from here. So if you have environments which is created inside a Bruno, it will be automatically available inside a VS Code. As you can see from here, I have two collection level environments, Pat and Ganesh. I will select Pat here. I will say. And if you want to select between safe and developer mode while using international libraries, so you can select the safe mode, you can select day mode, developer mode from icon next to Pat, and you can use that. For the runner, you can click on a particular folder as we normally do. You can, if you go to extension, then the runner option will be available here. If you want to click a folder, you can go to folder, you can run from here. The same you run from the Bruno, the UI is completely same for the better clarity and have a similar interface. And the same thing you can do developer safe mode, runner, and switch between file mode. So if you want to see a file mode, like what are the configurations you have in a nice form, like JSON similar format, so you can just turn on the file mode and you can see the how your particular request looks like in JSON format. So you can do that and you can save a request from here. You can generate a code, curl commands and different code generation from here. Could be Ruby, PHP or anything you want to generate. So this is how the basic navigation looks like. And if you have installation, you have correct installation from Bruno, so you will see the Bruno logs like a Bruno console, which we recently introduced, and you will see the all the scripting stuff here. So imagine that I will just quickly show you the console log on how it be looks like. You can do a bunch of configuration. I will just add a simple example saying console log request dot URL, and it will just print my URL on my console. So it's printing my request dot URL like the complete endpoint which I have here, and you can see all the logs which scripting, which just helps you to debug your APIs testing. And if you're running into any issues while doing a script, so you can just console it and you can just solve that issue. It just helps for a debugging purpose. You can clear the logs. It's available inside your VS Code console in the Bruno log tab. So we are done with the basic stuff. Right now, let's jump to how we can create a request and all stuff. So you can create a new HTTP request. You can create a GraphQL folder and environments from here. You can do a configurations, which is important part. So this is like collection level environments. You can see the location, reset client certificate, and all the similar things which you see, which you get to see inside the Bruno app. These are the same thing when you go to particular collection and go to settings. So this is same thing which is available. And if you want to manage cookies, you can just go to extension and you will see all these option extension, global environments, and you can do configuration like general. You can add a custom CS certificates from here. You can set a request timeout and collection level settings, display what are the key shortcuts which are available for the VS Code extension. You can see from there. And yeah, for the support, you can check out this. So this is just a basic walkthrough. Let's get started hands on how we can get started with the params, adding some scripts, body, and all this stuff. So you can have a simple endpoint, just have echo use bruno.com, or you can feel free to use this, which is Bruno Echo server. So if you want to add params, you can just simply say value, and I would say Bruno. So my params is added here, and if I execute this, my request is going to fail because the request is not optimized for a particular parameter. But if you go to timeline, you will see a value which you added as the parameters. Same thing you can do for the path parameters here. Remove this, you can add here, and you can say we'll just add a value from here. And okay, so this is how you can add params, but we have the same thing. We have the same issue inside of Bruno with the parameters, but we'll just try one more time. And I'm saying if I execute this, then I should see the parameters here. Just okay, I have to go to timeline again. One. Not added here. You can add a param and can it's a small UI glitch which might be solved. But yeah, this is a path where this is a path params where you can add the values, and I will just quickly delete this. This might be a UI glitch which we need to address. But yeah, you can just split it here. But right now, if I want to add a body, already I have added a value there. But if you want to add a body inside your API, you want to send with your API, I will just clear a timeline, go to response, and you can select the similar options which you have inside of Bruno as JSON, XML, text, file, binary. I will select a JSON and I will send the value as Bruno. And as you can see, I receive a response. You can go to timeline and you can check this values name Bruno. I will just quickly add headers as well. Let's say value is Bruno. Auth, you can set up auth, which are same options inside of Bruno. You can set a folder level auth. If you go here, this is my folder. If I want to settings, if you go to settings, you can set up auth and you can set up any auth here. And you can also do inherit auth if you have a auth set up at collection level. So you can just go settings and you can set up auth from here, and you can set up a basic auth or maybe auth2, and you can just inherit that particular thing inside a folder level. Similar thing we normally do inside a Bruno. Same thing. Variables, same thing. Pre-request and post response. If you want to add a variable to your request, headers, or anywhere you want to use, you can just create a pre-request post response variables from here. From the script, then Bruno, the script might be bit the pre-request and post response script. When you have a large scripts to work with, the Bruno current UI is bit we need to improve. But right now in the VS Code extension, you have that flexibility where you can write a bunch of script and you can work with the multiple scripts independently. You don't need to fill any kind of UI stuff. You can just write a bunch of scripts here. You can do a debugging, testing, and yeah, write a large scripts here. So I don't have much to work with the scripts, but we can have a simple stuff. We can write a simple if statement if this dot URL. I'm just testing for if my URL includes a particular keyword, just like echo, then it should print. There are a lot of stuff which is just pretty straightforward because of VS Code. You don't need to put a lot of efforts in terms of scripting. So it will just say it's available, and if not, then this should be going to else blog and it's a not available. So I will do Control C and not available. The expected answer would be yes, it's available as echo is a part of my URL endpoint. So when I will execute this, and if I go to do logs, I will just clear all the logs and I will say send a request. And as you can see, the expected output is it's available because the echo is a string or it's a keyword which is part of my endpoint. So yeah, that's how you can use a post response. You can use a chaining, and you can do you can use all the brew APIs like a setvar, getvar, next request, runner utilities, and bunch of stuff which we have in a brew object, and you can perform a lot of scripting work here. For that, let's next the asserts. So you can write the asserts here. if I want to write assert, just for the example, if I have a just simple assert, response.body should be 200 and response.body should be JSON. And if I go to JSON, just like that. Or what else we can check? Response dot URL start with touch or TPS and say write scripts. Test response.body equal to 200. So we have to write response status here, not body. So right now, all of our assertions are passed because we have just had a simple assertions here for against your endpoint, and that's how you can work with assertion. And if you go to test, you can write a test cases as similar you do inside of Bruno. You can just write a test block here and just give it a name to response status is 200, and you just need to write a basic char syntax which we use for the testing, and you'll say dot status. And we expect that it will also pass because the response that we receive from our API endpoint is 200 okay, which is successful status code according to HTTP protocol, and we did our job. We wrote a assertion, we write a test scripts headers values. If you go to headers, you go to timeline, you can see the headers value which we are using. The use Bruno value is Bruno, and we are successfully sending the values here. We are sending a body and everything which is similar. So right now, this is a basic through how we can work with APIs, the same stuff. We have a docs, your settings, can do the same thing as if you have a particular tag here, smoke or anything. If you want to document your API, you can document from here. I will just quickly check the location here. Console log. If I execute this, directory name is not different. Okay. Let's say this Bruno, Eco Bruno. Okay. So this is our Eco Bruno collection, and you can do this. Same thing you can do with a collection run. If you have anything specific, you can also create a GraphQL API. Just click this and create a new GraphQL API, and it will create a new GraphQL API. You can add a name as test. You can add a similar endpoint which I have here, and it just works same as. And if you execute this, you will receive a response. So idea is this: the UI is completely same as we have Bruno to give a more similarity to the Bruno app in VS Code extension. You will also get a Bruno logs, which is very helpful in terms of understanding the scripting part. If you have any issues, you can debug quickly. You can just fastly understand what's happening wrong in your scripts, and you can just reproduce the issues. So it is really helpful in terms of solving issues, and you can do pretty much stuff here with scripting, testing, writing scripts. Right now, there are few stuff which is not available, like gRPC support, which you're going to add, and there are few setting stuff which you can do. And for the proxy settings specifically, if you have anything related to proxy, you can just set up. Okay, I will just show you how you can do that. So you have to set up a proxy on your own in the VS Code. You don't need to add any kind of proxy stuff in. I will just quickly settings. It's not things. Come on. So if you have VS Code enabled proxy, so you don't need to configure any other settings inside of Bruno. Bruno will automatically fetch all the proxy related stuff from your VS Code. You don't need to explicitly add a proxy related any kind of configuration. It's almost everything is there. So you don't need to do proxy. gRPC is something we are adding, and one last thing, which is the global environment. So global environment is not a part of your VS Code extension because it's due to the security purpose. We store them at operating system level, but collection variables will work as you can see here. But if you have global variables, you have to recreate them to use inside a VS Code extension from Bruno, and then you can start using that, and you can just enable that. You can just switch to particular VS Code extension from here. You can switch to file editor mode and switch to developer mode as well and send a request. And that's a complete walkthrough on how it works. And for the future development, we are going to add a Bruno VS Code extension as a part of Bruno mono repo, which is main repo of our application. So it's going to be a part of that. It's already available on discuss on a Discord as well with the community. So it's going to be part of Bruno project, Bruno repository, which we have on a GitHub. As well as if you have any feedback to share, you can just Discord, or if you go to GitHub, you can drop it there as well. And feel free to drop your reviews and ratings from here if you like anything. And you can also give it a star if you like all the features, and if it helps you to improve the API development workflow, you can just give it as a review and add ratings from here, and you can provide your feedback there. So this is our main repo, which we're going to be add this code extension source code, which is going to be a part of that.